Hi there, and welcome back to another edition of Gray Hair and Tattoos. My name is Lonnie, and today we are going to be talking about opinions. Now, when I say we're going to be talking about opinions, I don't mean good opinions like, hey, I love your hair today, or wow, that outfit looks amazing on you. No, I'm going to be talking about the kind of opinions that stops us from perhaps living the life that we want to live. You know, perhaps it's the opinion that makes us worried about getting another tattoo, or worried about that opinion that stops you from letting your hair go gray, or worrying about that opinion that maybe you don't pick out that outfit that you want to wear because you don't want to hear unsolicited opinions. So those are the opinions we're going to be talking about today. Now, opinions have been around forever, all right? Even when I was a kid, I can remember the old saying, you know, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. You know what? They have been around forever. What has changed is the delivery in the opinion. Okay? So in the olden days, if you didn't like somebody's outfit, you'd walk up to them and you'd be like, you know what? I don't really like your outfit. And by doing that face to face, you had to face the consequences. You had to face the consequences of their reaction. You had to face the consequences of their rebuttal. You had to see their face. You had to acknowledge that your words were unkind. Those were all the things that you had to experience by giving your opinion face to face. Now, in today's society, people have the freedom to give opinions with no repercussions. All right? People can say some of the most brutal things that I've seen people say with no repercussions. I mean, yes, people respond back. They'll be like, that's wrong, you know, you're mean, you shouldn't say these things. But it doesn't affect them in a negative way. Your negative reaction to their hateful comment doesn't hurt them. In my opinion, it feeds them. This is exactly their intention of doing it in the first place. All right? So we have to kind of see it for what it is. This is a very passionate subject for me. I am on social media a lot. I'm very fortunate that I don't face this as often as others, but I see it happening to others. So I decided to do an episode today based on opinions, kind of breaking them down, maybe figuring out where they came from, giving some tips on how I deal with them, and also to realizing that once you understand where they come from, what they're all about, how absolutely freeing it is knowing that their opinions don't matter. So let's go start with my latest TikTok. I did a TikTok not too long ago. Basically, I just put up some opinions that I hear more than not. You know, I get told quite often I'm too old to wear Doc Martens, or I'm too old for tattoos, or, you know, perhaps I shouldn't be wearing what I'm wearing. And those things don't affect me at all. They don't stop me from doing exactly what I want to do. But where my shock kind of came in was the amount of people who could connect to this. The amount of people who were like, you know, you go, you know, that's right, we shouldn't listen to this. And it really, it opens my eyes at that point as to the amount of opinions that are negative, that are really affecting people in a negative way. So it led me again to this episode, and I really am just trying to address anybody out there who has experienced anything like this or stops themselves in the fear of having something like this happen to you. So how do I look at these negative comments? I look at them like, sometimes, you know how you get those little fly that like is like around your head and it's just annoying? That's how I look at it. These people have no effect on me. Their opinions to me, I almost feel sorry for them. I'm like, how can you live that life? How can you live that life being that negative and be okay with it? I have a little bit more empathy for people when they're directed at me because they don't affect me, but it makes me a little upset when I see them doing it to other people because I know how bad it's hurting them. I always say, for any of you who've been watching me for a while or followed any of my social media journeys, I am an alcoholic, and I never say recovering alcoholic because I don't think it's something that we ever truly get rid of, but I don't drink. I chose a sober life about 6 years ago. Now, in the mind of an addict, the things that you tell yourself are pretty horrendous. And every time somebody tries to insult me, I almost have to chuckle to myself, and I'm like, you think that's mean? You should have heard the things that I was telling myself in my head. Now that's mean. So I look at it like that. I look at it like, if you're going to try to come at me with something mean, you're going to have to reach to depths that you don't think you can go to because I've already been there through my addiction. So I feel like I'm a little bit more armored up, maybe is the word. So again, they just don't affect me. I mean, that's just it. There are literally 2 people in this entire world whose opinion can stop me in my tracks, and those are my 2 sons, and unless that opinion is coming out of their mouth, it's not going to affect me. That's how I deal with it. That is what I tell myself every single day. That is what I tell myself when I see a negative comment. I am human, so don't get me wrong. I mean, sometimes I see these comments and I have to give like a little cleansing breath, or I have to remind myself, but it is something that I choose to do. I choose not to acknowledge it. I choose not to give it any energy. That's just, point blank, there you go. That is it in a nutshell. So, as I said earlier, we call these unwanted opinions. Are they opinions? I don't think so. I really don't think that these people care enough about us to even formulate an opinion. What these people do is they look for something to hurt you, and then they say it. And the only time that it has any effect, the only time it has any merit, the only time that it has hit its mark is when you let it hit it. Okay, so now if you are uncomfortable with an outfit, or if you're not comfortable with your style, or if you're not very comfortable with yourself, you have these open avenues for these opinions. You have these open avenues for these comments, these words to actually come in and make a damage. So basically where that breaks down to is you have to, if somebody says something and it hurts, then you have to kind of look within. Okay, if somebody says, you know what, I don't like your hair like that, and it's a painful, you have a negative reaction from it, you know what, maybe you're a little uncomfortable with your hair. Maybe you need to find a style that fits you. Maybe you can find a style that 100% you love everything about it and you're happy with it. And then if somebody says they don't like your hair, you can be like, oh, okay, well, I do. So do you get where I'm going with this? It's like if they say something that you're already feeling uncomfortable about or unconfident about, then yes, these comments can be hurtful. So I'm always preaching self-love, self-confidence. Nobody can hurt you if you have that self-love and that self-confidence. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's something that we have to build up. I'm always saying journal, write positive things about yourself. Just get to that point where you're like, I'm going to be above opinions because opinions can't hurt me because I am comfortable and confident within myself. They can't touch you. So knowing that these opinions are out there, a lot of times what we try to do is we try to just blend in. You know, you want to blend in because you don't want to stand out. You don't want that person to notice you and say a mean comment to you. If that's your comfort level, by all means, that's your comfort level and that's where you need to be. If that's not your comfort level, then you know what? You got to be bright. You got to be bold. You have to live your life out loud. You know, you have to wear what you want. You can get your colorful hair. You can do tattoos. For me, blending in is a prison. Standing out, that's what I'm meant to be. That's what makes me happy. I like being bold. I like being different. It suits me. It suits my personality. So with that, I realize, again, I'm a target for these people who want to perhaps, give their opinions out that they're not looking for, but I'm prepared for it. Like I said, I'm confident in my age, I'm confident in my style, I'm confident in my hair color, my tattoos. That's my defense. That's how it doesn't hurt me. So you need to take the same recipe, the same ideas and apply it to yourself. You know, again, if you're comfortable, if you're confident, if you have positive self-dialogue with yourself, these opinions can't get to you. So you have to look within in order to deflect anything coming in from the outside. Now, I know this episode is a little bit deeper than most, but again, I'm really trying to just let everybody know that we all have defenses and we're allowed to use them. And probably one of the easiest, most positive defense is, again, self-love and self-confidence. I get a question a lot, how did you get to be this way? And it took time. It took patience. It took work in order for me to break down barriers, to break down walls within myself, to find a certain level of comfortability within myself. If I can do it, so can you. There's nothing stopping you from your own self-exploration other than yourself. So this is, again, like I said, a little bit deeper than I usually go, but again, I felt it as a necessary conversation. So finally, last but not least, when you get to that level, and we all have different levels, we all have different ideas of what we want to be, but I'm telling you, when you get there, it is extremely freeing. Now, I am very transparent about my life. I usually tell people exactly, again, I've had addictions, I've been through some hard times, but to me, by being transparent, it's freeing. If I'm already admitting it, they can't attack me with it. If I'm comfortable with it, your opinion doesn't hurt me. So you got to take those baby steps. You got to tear down those walls. You have to, again, accept yourself for exactly who you are. None of us are perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. We're not supposed to look like each other. We're all individuals. And just embrace your individuality. And again, these opinions will not matter, will not hurt you. No matter what age you are, young or old, you are perfect just the way you are. Your body size. There is no perfect body size. Your body size is the perfect size. Start telling yourself that on a daily basis. Don't walk out of the house until you like what you're wearing, whether it's a fancy outfit or sweatpants. Just realize you have all the power and you just have to use it. So again, opinions, they're always going to be there. They don't matter as long as you're confident in yourself. Work on your self-confidence. Make sure you tell yourself something positive every single day. You are absolutely perfect exactly the way you are, and just have a lot of self-love. those are your steps. Those opinions won't matter, and you will have such a freeing experience. You know, you can get on social media and it won't matter what they say, because you know what? You have your own self-love. So that's my episode for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, please hit that like button. Again, you never know what I'm going to talk about, so if you want to hit that subscribe button, we will break down other subjects, look at outfits, talk about tattoos, talk about life. Again, you never know what I'm going to talk about. If you would like to find me on other forms of social media, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Twitter. You name it, you look for Gray Hair and Tattoos and you will find me. I appreciate you always. Remember, tell yourself something kind, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye.